if you don't know where to start and you're feeling overwhelmed and you're surrounded by clutter and all of these reminders of the past and things you've held on to that you don't know what to do with, start by getting rid of what you don't love. This might take 3, 4, 5, or 6 times going through. When I had to go through stuff, or when I started this whole kind of journey where I just got sick of how I was living, I went through the same closet like 5 times and had to go through the same things multiple times to see if it was something that I really wanted, that I, if I really did love it. Because at first pass, I'd be like, yeah, I love that, I want to keep that. And then the second time, I'm like, well, I don't really love that, or I don't really need it, but maybe. And then by the time I got to the 3rd or 4th, I was like, yeah, I don't care about this at all. And I've learned not to miss any of the stuff that I've let go of. When people ask me, like, where do I start? I'm feeling so overwhelmed. I'm getting a lot of messages about that, questions on how do I start? What do I do? Start with what you can tangibly do in that day and in that moment. Like, start with a purge, declutter. If you're just organizing things, you're just shifting them from one place to the next. And then you feel like you're making progress because you're organizing all of the stuff. The organizing should happen when you're done with the purge or the declutter. So start there, because that'll build you some momentum. It'll help you feel like you're winning a little bit, and it'll give you some of that control back, put you in more of a dominant position that you are in control and this is no longer controlling you, and that will build momentum, and you'll start feeling stronger and stronger. You'll start feeling better. Before I even started focusing on my health, which I knew, I was kind of in denial about it. I thought, well, I'm probably in good shape. I'm not that bad, until I actually had blood work done and did a mineral test and realized, I got all kinds of stuff going on. But before I tackled that, because I didn't want to focus on 2 things at one time, 2 big projects. Before I tackled that, I put all of my time and energy into getting the home in order, getting the shopping under control, making sure that I wasn't going to fall back into those habits. So I didn't give myself a way out. I moved to a place that has very little storage, so I can't store a lot of stuff. The only things that I really make room to store is my Christmas stuff, because that's a season that I love. And I do go, I have a little bit more decorative pieces out during Christmas because I love it. But I got rid of all of the other seasonal shopping. I had bins of Valentine's Day, 4th of July, Easter, Halloween, fall. Like, I had bins, multiple bins of each stuff that I would dig out. And when my kids were little, it was really fun to change things up for the holidays. When they were toddlers or little, 5, 6, 7, they loved that. But, that was just for a season. And one thing that I've learned is I don't want to keep lingering in past seasons. Like, that season's over. And, it's kind of like sombering when you're like, I'm leaving from a season when my kids are a certain age and I'm going into another season. But that's life. And there's more things to enjoy and more life to live. And so my kids were actually ready for that change also. When we moved and we got rid of like 80%, you'll see in the video, like all of their toys and all their stuff, I said, keep what you love and the rest is going. And we found families that really could use beautiful toys. Families that could never have afforded some nice dolls. We gave those to them. And so you can really be a blessing. And then your kids get to experience what that's like when they can bless other kids in need and other families and really make a difference in their own communities too. It was neighbors and family friends and just people that we heard through, people that were struggling and needed things, clothes, bedding, stuff like that. And so you can really make a difference in those lives of those other people. So learning to let go and then simplifying. And what happens is my kids actually love playing in their rooms more now than they did, because they're not overwhelmed and they don't have anxiety. And it's their job to keep their closets clean. Whatever they can't fit in their closets, then they sort through. And now they're in the habit of letting things go and realizing, well, if this is packed or I have too much stuff, they know what to do. So it's brought a little bit of control back into the home. But while I was going through that, I did not go into homes. I had to unfollow accounts that were making me indulge and buy the next Amazon things. I was following a lot of people that I really liked their decor, but at the time I could not be sucked back in. Like, I was in such a tender spot that I knew if they were telling me, oh, run to the at-home store and get this vase, or run, you know, to Walmart, or order this, there's a low supply, or can you believe I got this? That FOMO and that fear of missing out would shopping without thinking. That's the impulse shopping. It's just because somebody told you. And now keep in mind that a lot of these people that I was following who had 3, 4, 500,000 followers, you know, you think about what's being promoted all the time chronically. I'm not talking about the accounts that are sharing what they love. Like, there's a difference. You have to make your home beautiful. You're going to, you know, make it cozy for your family. You're going to have to buy things. I mean, of course, like you can't keep the same stuff for your whole life. You're going to want to update things. But I'm talking about the accounts that are chronically telling you every single day you go on, and they're telling you have to buy this new gadget, and you have to buy this new thing. And I was just getting overwhelmed. I'm like, well, what about the one that you said yesterday? And do you actually have all of this stuff that you're telling me to buy? Or are you just pushing it on me? Because what happens is that's good for them. It's not good for you. Like, think about it. They're pushing it because it's good for them. And I'm not against finding things on Amazon or Walmart or Target. Of course, you can find great pieces anywhere. I have a throw blanket from Target that I bought a few years ago that I love. I actually wish I would have bought 2 of them because you can't find it now. But only because I love the colors and the patterns. It's the one in my living room right now that's got that fall color to it. I love it. But that's the difference. I didn't buy it because somebody, you know, just because. I bought it because I really loved it. And it was like $20, so that's a double win. So there's a difference with surrounding yourself with the pieces that you love and investing in what you love, and just, you know, or just buying whatever is, you know, whatever. And just buying whatever somebody tells you to buy, and you're overloading yourself, and you've got closets full of stuff and things everywhere and piled up, and you open up your utensil drawer and you got a million utensils. So minimizing is liberating. I don't ever think that I'll be an actual minimalist, though it does sound appealing sometimes to have like just a basic what you need. But I like color and I like things, and I do like decorating. But I've learned to control it. So while I was going through that time period, what I did is I just didn't go into those stores. I unfollowed the accounts that were really pressuring me, and I didn't go into Target. I didn't go into Home Goods. I didn't go into a lot of those stores because I didn't want to be pulled back into that. I was trying to get out of that. So that was the first thing that I did. The next thing I did was I cut up the majority of all of my credit cards and I closed them. Even though that could affect your credit, I didn't want to give myself a way out. I didn't want to fall back into old habits. I knew I would. I knew it would be too easy to do that. So I didn't give myself a way out. And I'm still paying off things that I used credit card debt because the interest was so high, and I had so many different cards and things. And you know, I would use the Container Store credit card to buy containers to organize the stuff that I loved. Well, their interest was like 30%. So really, it didn't make sense. And once that light bulb went off, and I thought, oh gosh, I need to get this under control. Once it's like you're trying to turn a big ship around that's been going in one direction for so long. It takes time. I'm still over a year later of making this transition, I'm still paying things off. And unless a big miracle comes in, I'm probably going to continue paying those things off. But at least I'm not getting deeper and deeper. And that's the thing. Progress is progress. Making the decision to stop that like bleeding and to gain control and to give yourself some self-control can be a really big win for you and your whole family, because they probably see all of the time and energy that you spend in all of those things and that you're not spending with them. And your kids might grow up thinking that this is so important, to find a good deal, to hunt for a good deal, to buy stuff, to consume, to have all this. They're going to grow up with that mentality that they need more. And you really don't. You need less. And if whatever women that reach out to me, they're not desiring everything. They just want the right things. And people are willing to spend the money on what they really love, even if it's not at the time that they want. Waiting and saving to be able to buy what you love is so much more satisfying than just buying because it's there, or your fear of missing out, or it's a good deal, or whatever it is. You know, it's really about an intentional way of living. I reached the point where I was just ready to do whatever it takes. I was so sick of the pit that I was in, that I had dug for myself. I had realized that I was the problem, that I needed to make the changes, and I didn't want to tolerate that anymore. So when you get to that point, this is why I'm offering coaching, because I get so many women reaching out, asking for help, and it's a laborious thing. It's a very laborious thing to coach and mentor somebody when they're going through that, because there's a lot of turmoil going on. There's going to be a lot of attachments. There's going to be a lot of emotions. You're stopping something. You're basically stopping a pattern and a habit that you've been living for such a long time, and you're saying enough is enough, and you're ready to shift that, and you're wanting to go in a different direction, and it takes time to turn that ship around. So I was ready. It didn't matter what I was losing, because I was ready to start a new season, and what I was gaining was so much more. So